Hi, it's Dr Denise here in Bluebell Wood, and I'm drawing to the conclusion of my next book, Career Coaching for Midlife and Beyond, and it's aimed at professionals operating in this space to give them over 40 exercises that they can use with clients, alongside lots of discussion prompts as well. So it's very much going to be a resource that is going to be very valuable. I think it's going to be the go-to book for anybody involved in career coaching and retirement coaching. So it's aimed at later life, people of 50 plus. And I was asked to write this book by Trotman because I previously wrote a book for them, Find Work at 50 plus, and people still tell me how valuable that book is. And much of the information within it is still really relevant because it is harder for people above 50. We're having to deal with being discriminated against. There's ageism out there, and I always feel a bit amused really by these 30 and 40 somethings who don't want to employ 50 somethings and thinking, but you know, in 10, 20 years that's going to be you. But they seem to be too short-sighted to think about that. So this book will be coming out in the autumn, and it's almost ready to submit, but I'm leaving it another week. I just like to keep reading through, just making sure that I'm not missing anything. But it covers so many different topics. I've got 11 chapters altogether, and as I said, there's many exercises that you can use with your clients, and some of them I'm creating as downloadable resources that you can have. And I seem to live and breathe what it's like to be 50 plus, and I'm approaching 68. And I think many people just don't appreciate what it's like to be growing older. And I think one of the benefits of me writing all of this at my age is I'm certainly not somebody who's winding down, but I'm somebody who is taking a different pace and working at a different rhythm. I gained my PhD at 64, you know? That's pretty good going when people say that, you know, you can't teach old dogs and all things like that, when of course you can. And maybe I took longer to do it, who knows? But I actually went deeper, because I often think the me at 30 or 40 that would have done it would have looked into what was the minimum I can get away with, because that's how I studied in the past. Whereas now I had an interlude where I spent 3 weeks going deep into the meaning of meaning and reading lots of philosophical books, which is fascinating, and then ended up as one paragraph in my book, but in my thesis and later in the book. Because alongside Find Work at 50 plus, I also wrote Rethinking Retirement for Positive Aging, and that's the book based on my academic research. So both of them, I think, really emphasise my academic credentials and knowledge for this work. And then writing the next book, Career Coaching for Midlife and Beyond, my publisher said, my editor said, when we started talking about who could do this book, everybody just mentioned your name. And I think that is my reputation now, is the one who knows, and it's a good go-to resource. And that's probably the way my working life is going to move forward. It's going to be more about resources to help other people in the retirement, later life, career coaching space, rather than to be working so much one-to-one with clients, because I own a wood. This is me and my wood, and I'd rather be spending, to be honest, I'd rather be spending time with people down in the wood, or indeed just being on my own, moving logs in the wood. But I just wanted to give you a first update to let you know that the book will be on its way to my editor. They've already looked at 2 chapters and they loved them. Nothing came back to change. So given they're like 2 out of 11, I'm hoping that they like the rest 9. And people say, how can you write so fast? But I love writing. I find it so easy to write. And I just like doing these videos as well. And none of the videos are ever scripted. I was just wandering around my wood and thought, I'll create something on this. And shortly, I think we need to be doing some work to generate interest. I think that's what you have to do. You get people who are interested in like signing up to buy in advance, because that all helps algorithms and whatever else that marketing people do. And I will be thinking of some freebies, some additional resources, some bonuses for people that sign up in advance. Because there's ways that you can con the system and make it a bestseller. But that's not my style, and it's certainly not my publisher's style. We want to do this there's a deer over there just looking at me. That is one of the beauties of being in the book. They seem to be used to me, and they just, it's still there. Anyway, back to you. I'm not going to edit this. So just to let you know that Career Coaching for Midlife and Beyond will be ready to buy later this year, and I'll be sharing more details. Maybe I should start doing it on a regular basis from now on, because I'm quite excited about this book. And there's other books that are going to be following on from that, but I think let's just talk one at a time. So Career Coaching for Midlife and Beyond by Trotman will be out later this year, and it's going to be the go-to book for anybody who works as a later life or retirement coach, but also it can still be useful for people in HR, people in government departments, and indeed for individuals, because just treat it like your own go-to book and follow it through, because some of the exercises are really interesting. And I think that's one of the things that I like is revising exercises I've used in the past, creating new ones, thinking about what's going to be relevant. And that's something that brings me joy and meaning, and I think that's important for us in later life. So, till next time, it's Dr. Denise from my wood, just telling you about the next book that's going to be coming out. Take care, bye-bye.